Good morning. Today we have a long-term review on the O'Neill Sierra Pro boots. Probably have a good, I'm going to say 8 months on them. I don't know when I got these, sometime in the spring I'm guessing. But I use them basically, they were kind of my prime go-to boot all summer, unless I was really ripping it on the KTM. I would wear my other boots with a little more protection. So, got quite a few hours, quite a few miles on them. There's good and basically all good, but some bad, and the bad sucks because I was hoping it wouldn't happen. And I'll just kind of give you an overview of these boots here. I'll move a little bit closer and we'll go over kind of what they got going on here, how everything held up. Okay. Now, of course these have just a 2-buckle design. You can see 1, 2, then you got the big enclosure up top. Not much protection on the ankle there. Of course you have a little toe pad here, and you got this heavy plastic on the heel, little flex pad right there. Now, of course, inside you have your little waterproof bootie. It only goes right to about here. I'm going to say, let me put the boot just above the second buckle right here. Now, of course, that held up well in here, no ripping, it didn't come loose anywhere apart from the rest of the boot. That held up well. Everywhere around the top, Velcro's holding up well, still working good, no issues there. All the stitching is good around the back. Now, even back here, I think both of the boots, this boot here, there's no separation on the heel. On this one, there is a little bit of separation right here between this piece of plastic and this rubber right there. There's no leaking, but there is separation. Buckles, I had no issues with any buckles. All still functioning well, nothing broken, nothing come off. This boot is the same way. Everything held up well inside here as far as the little liner, the little membrane there, the waterproof deal. Somebody texting. Up on the front, both the toes, they're not, it's nothing major, but they are starting to come. There's a little bit of glue loose here. That is lifting a little bit away from the leather. Not so much here, but on this side a little bit. On that, let me see the other one. These boots are, I don't remember what I paid for them, but currently they are $207 at most places online. This boot here is kind of the same way. It's got a little bit of separation right here on the front of the toe box. Just on the one side, the rest of it is good. And these are true to size for me. These are size 11, and I basically, in a work boot or a hiking boot, I wear size 11. These fit well. These things were awesome. Even from day one when I put them on when they were new, they were awesome for walking around, and they're great right now. Now the sole isn't the best. It is a pretty lugged sole, but a lot of time I've worn these kind of hiking up hillsides with, your leaves on the ground from the fall, and any boot would slip quite a bit, but these definitely aren't going to grip like the bottom of like a Herman Survivor lug or something like that. Now, the bad thing about these that it sucks to report that I was hoping wouldn't happen is they basically, just like my Forma Adventures, if I'm off-road or on forest roads, 2-track, vehicle size roads. I stand 90% of the time. And if you're on aftermarket foot pegs, that can put a hurting on your sole. Now this is the right side. You can see it's worn, but it is not through. That is not through into the bottom plate yet, but it is chewed up pretty good right there. Now, I apologize for the dirt. There might even be a little bit of, that might even be like some dog turd smashed in there, I'm not sure. Now, the left boot though, it took a beating. Look, that is opened up the whole way into the plate, right there. Now, I will say one thing, I haven't experienced any water getting up into my boot through there. Now, I haven't submerged them, but riding, going through your puddles and creek crossings, my feet haven't got wet. But I was hoping that these were gonna hold up better than that. But, so what I will do is probably just put some urethane on there, or like some shoe goop or something like that, just to seal that up. But that's my only complaint about these boots. If you're not a stand-up rider, you're running the factory pegs with the rubber section still in them that holds this up a little bit off of the teeth on the peg and not so much pressure, they're probably gonna do just fine. And if you don't stand up a lot, these will probably last you as long as this will outlast anything on the boot probably if you don't stand up a lot and you don't have aftermarket pegs with the sharp teeth on them. Because other than that, I mean, these have been through all kind of briars, brush, weeds, creeks, all kind of stuff like that. And I never had no water issues unless, of course, if you go over something where the water is above your boot, it is gonna tend to get in there. But these have been great that way, very comfortable. I never had any blisters, complaints, no binding on my ankles. They're awesome, and I'm still gonna continue to wear them all the time. Like I said, I'm just gonna patch that up a little bit, and you know, we'll be good to go for a while yet. So keep that in mind if you're buying them, what you're gonna use them for. If you stand a lot like me, and you have the aftermarket pegs on, there's a very good chance that's gonna happen. And like I said, this is from, I mean, I did a lot of riding this summer, but this is from basically one summer of riding, you know, 5-6 months of riding from spring to fall. We're in December now, but that is what could happen right there. As far as the bottom of the boots, that's the O'Neill Sierra Pro. Awesome boot, other than the sole. Remember, hit that like button, and don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. Help me out.